Hello everyone, myself Prashant Kohli, Assistant Professor in Chemistry. Friends, in the previous videos, we got interacted with some important topics of coordination chemistry. In today's lecture, we will deal with coordination chemistry, particularly IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compounds. In this video, we will keep focus on the topic, that is IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compounds, how to give the name for different coordination complexes, what are the rules. In detail, we will interact with this topic. So let's start a quick recapitulation. In my last video, we have discussed in detail that what are the rules to give the name for coordination compounds. Here we will take a quick recapitulation regarding the rules. What is the first rule? Positive charge on the complex ends with the name ion. If there is a negative charge on the complex, a net negative charge, in that case metals ends with the suffix ate. Oxidation state of metal should be always written in Roman letters. If there is more than one ligand of different types present in the complex, write them in alphabetical order. Negative ligands with the suffix always ends with the letter O. If counter ions present in the complex, that may be present to the LHS or RHS, so you have to write their names as per their order, whether they are present to the LHS or RHS. Now in case of bridging ligands, there are some different rules we will discuss while solving the examples. So let us start with some examples. In the first case, we are going to discuss those complexes where there is a net positive charge present on the complexes. So let us consider the first example, that is copper NH3 plus. How to give the name for this complex? Now it is very simple example. In this case, you can see that there is a net positive charge 2 plus present on the overall complex. In my one of the video, we have also seen how to calculate the oxidation state of central metal atom in the complexes. For detail, please see that video, how to give the oxidation state or how to find the oxidation state of central metal atom. Now as we can see, there is a +2 charge on the complex. I have given you one hint in the previous video how to give the oxidation state, how to calculate the oxidation state for central metal atom when only neutral ligands are present in the complex, and if there is a charge present on the complex, then that charge will be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom. Now we can see that there is a +2 charge and only neutral ligand is attached to the metal, that is copper. So here the oxidation state for copper will be considered as a +2. Now while solving the IUPAC nomenclature or while giving the names to the coordination complexes, it is very important one should know the oxidation state of central metal atom, and how to calculate the oxidation state of central metal atom is very important point. So in this example, copper has a +2 oxidation state or oxidation number because only neutral ligands are attached to the central metal atom copper. So in case of ammonia, the ligand is called as amine, and we can see that there are 6 ligands. So according to rule, the 6 ligands will be termed as hexa. Hence the complete name of this complex can be written as hexaamine copper second ion. Now we can see that here there is a space for this complex, after writing the oxidation state of metal atom. So this space should be written between the oxidation state, which is written in the Roman letters, and name ion should be given to those complexes which have a net positive charge. So that is a rule for those complexes which carries a net positive charge. So basically similar to this we can solve another example, cobalt hexaamine 3 plus. Similar to the upper example, we can see that in this example also what is the oxidation state of central metal atom, that is a plus 3. So basically the plus 3 charge will be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom cobalt, because only neutral ligands are attached to cobalt metal atom. So whenever there is only neutral ligand attached to the central metal atom, and if there is a charge present on the complex, so that charge will be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom. So note that there should be only neutral ligands attached to the central metal atom while considering the charge as the oxidation state. So here also only neutral ligands, that is amine ligand, is attached to the cobalt, and there is a net positive charge on the complex is a plus 3. Hence oxidation state of cobalt will be considered as a plus 3. Now we can see that there are 6 amine ligands again attached to the cobalt, and for 6 ligand we term 6 as a hexa while giving the IUPAC name to the complexes. Hence the complete name for this complex can be written as hexaamine cobalt plus 3 ion. Again you can see that here there is a space between the oxidation state and ion. So whenever the complex has a positive charge, so it must be end with the name ion, and between the oxidation state and ion there should be a space. That is the rule. Similar to these two examples, we can have another example for neutral complexes, for neutral ligands. So here is a third example, ApPy63 plus. Now we can see that in this complex pyridine is a neutral ligand, and hence only neutral ligands, when only neutral ligand is attached to the complex, in that case the charge will be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom according to rule. So here the plus 3 charge, overall plus 3 charge is present on the complex, and only neutral pyridine ligand are attached to the central metal atom ion Fe. Hence the oxidation state of central metal atom is plus 3. Again we can see that there are 6 pyridine ligands are attached to central metal atom Fe. Hence for 6 ligand we will again term for 6 as a hexa, and thus the complete IUPAC name for this complex will be hexapyridine 3 space ion. So it is very compulsory, when there is a net positive charge on the complex, we should write we should give the space while writing the IUPAC name for that complex. Now in the next case we will have a similar example, that is cobalt ethylene diamine 3 plus complex. Now we can see that the central metal atom is a cobalt, while again a neutral ligand ethylene diamine, which is abbreviated as En, attached to the complex. Now ethylene diamine is abbreviated as En, it is a neutral ligand, and hence again the charge will be considered as oxidation state. So plus 3 charge is present on the complex, and hence this plus 3 charge will be considered as a oxidation state. So here we can see that the oxidation state for cobalt is plus 3. So particularly we have one rule for those ligands which have already the prefixes like di, tri, etc. For those ligands which have already prefixes di, tri, we have another rule. Like that ethylene diamine has already a prefix di, so count the number of ethylene diamine, so that number is 3. So instead of writing tri, we should write the tris ethylene diamine. So that is the corrected rule. Hence the IUPAC nomenclature for this complex will be tris ethylene diamine cobalt 3 space ion. So that is the complete name for this complex. Similar to that complex, we have another example, NiPPH352 plus. So we all know that again triphenylphosphine abbreviated as PPH3. So phosphorus is attached to different 3 phenyl rings, that is C6H5. So in that case it is very bulky ligand, which is a monodentate ligand. So in this complex triphenylphosphane is attached to the Ni, and again we can see that PPH3 is a neutral ligand, and hence the charge present on the complex will be considered as oxidation state for the central metal atom. So here we can see the charge is present on the complex is +2. So hence the oxidation state of metal is again +2. Now we can see that there are 5 ligands, but again in case of triphenylphosphine the prefix tri is there. So hence count the number of triphenylphosphine, so that number is 5. So hence for 5 we will write pentakis for 5 PPH3 ligands. Thus the IUPAC name for this complex will be pentakis triphenylphosphine nickel second space ion. So why pentakis? Because 5 triphenylphosphine ligands, and again in this ligand there is a prefix tri. So count the number of triphenylphosphine ligands, that number is 5. For 5 we write a pentakis. So pentakis triphenylphosphine nickel second space ion, that is a complete name for this complex. Now we can have another example where a net positive charge will be present on the complex. So what is the charge on the complex here? +1 charge. So when this rule is applicable, that the positive charge or whatever the charge will be present on the complex, that charge will be considered as oxidation state. So this rule will be applicable for those complexes which have only neutral ligands attached to the metal. But here in the 6th example we can see that the cobalt metal is attached to the neutral ligand in addition to the negative ligands. So Cl is a negative ligand, Cl minus considered as a chloro. So because of that the rule will not be applicable here, that is charge present on the complex will not be considered as oxidation state of metal. So we can see that how to solve this, how to calculate the oxidation state. Here we can see that what is the calculation. For cobalt we will consider as X. For Cl there is one negative charge on the Cl, that is a -1. So here you can see that a -1 into 2 Cl plus ethylene diamine has a no charge, it is a neutral ligand. So consider for ethylene diamine 0. So particularly 0 for ethylene diamine. So calculate the overall calculation. Initially what we have to do the equal sign, give the equal sign and write the whatever charge present on the complex. If plus charge is present, write down that charge. Negative charge is present, write down that negative charge. Whatever the charge, write down that charge to the RHS of equal sign. So here after arithmetic calculation we can have oxidation state. So -1 into 2, that is -2 is equal to +1. So X is equal to +1 plus 2. So X is equal to +3. So oxidation state here you can see that +3 for cobalt. So we have to give the naming for this complex, but we can see that there are more than one ligand present in the complex. So according to rule, we have to give the naming for this complex in a alphabetical order. So in ABCD sequence alphabetical order, which ligand has a first alphabet, that ligand will be named first in the IUPAC nomenclature. So you can see that the chloro, according to alphabetical order, will have a first preference to write in the complex naming. Hence there are 2 chlorine, so we will write for 2 chlorine as a dichloro, and in this ethylene diamine there is already prefix di, so we will write down for 2 ethylene diamine bis. So bis ethylene diamine cobalt 3 space ion. So that is a complete name for this complex. In the next case, those complexes which have again a net positive charge, 7th example, platinum NH3 4 plus. So platinum is attached to 6 different ligands, 6 amine ligands, and which has a net positive charge 4 plus. So friends, again we can see that complex has a net positive charge as a 4 plus, and again neutral, only neutral amine ligand is attached to the platinum, and hence the plus 4 charge will be considered as oxidation state for central metal atom. So we know that platinum exists in the 2 oxidation state, plus 2 and plus 4, which are considered to be the stable oxidation state for platinum. So in this complex, platinum is existing in a plus 4 oxidation state. So because of net positive charge 4 plus, the 4 plus charge will be the oxidation state for platinum in this complex. Now we can see that there are 6 amine ligands are attached to this complex. Hence we will use the term hexa for 6 ligand, and hence the IUPAC name for this complex will be hexaamine platinum 4 space ion. So this is the complete name for this complex. So this is very simple example. In the next case, we can see that the 8th example, MnH2 plus. Again we can see that the complex has a net positive charge 2 plus, and in overall we can see the neutral ligand water. Actually in terms of ligand, the water is termed as aqua. So in this complex, aqua is a neutral ligand, and again the rule will be applicable, only neutral ligand is attached to the metal. So in that case, the charge present on the complex will be treated as oxidation state of metal. So we can see that the oxidation state for manganese will be plus 2. So here we can see that the oxidation state for manganese is plus 2. Now again we can observe here the 6 aqua ligands, hence the term hexa will be considered for these 6 aqua ligands. Hence the IUPAC name for this complex will be hexa aqua manganese second space ion. So again plus whatever the charge, positive charge present on the complexes, the complex will end with the name ion. So that is the rule. Now we will have another examples in this category. IUPAC name for the coordination complexes for those ligands which have net negative charge, and again there are some counter ions will be present in the complex. So what are the counter ions? That ions or species generally present to the outside of the coordination sphere. So this species will be present to the LHS or RHS to balance the primary valency of the complex. Particularly that species are termed as a counter ions. Now we will have the examples for those complexes which have a negative charge, a net negative charge, as well as some counter ions may be present in the complex. One important hint here, if the complex has a negative charge, then according to IUPAC rule, the metal name will be end with the characteristic suffix, that is what the ATE. So here you can see that everywhere the metal complex S ends with the name ATE. So everywhere you can see that the metal complex is having negative charge. In that case, the metal will end with the characteristic suffix ate. So we can see that if iron is present in the complex and that complex has a net negative charge, so we will not write iron in the coordination complex. So instead of that we will write ferrate. Similarly, if nickel has one complex or nickel is present in that particular complex which has a net negative charge, so we will not write nickel in IUPAC name. So instead of that we should write nickelate for nickel present in the complex which has a net negative charge. If chromium is present in that complex which has a negative charge, so it will be written as chromate. Similarly for cobalt, cobaltate, titanium, titanate, copper, cuprate, zinc, zincate, manganese, manganate, so etc. So all metal present in the complexes, and in that complex which is carrying a net negative charge, so metal name will be end with the characteristics end, that is a ate. So that is again one of the IUPAC rule. So we have next example for this category in those complexes which have a net negative charge. So very simple example, we have a square planar complex NiCN4 2 minus. So here we can see that the central metal atom, that is nickel, we have to find the oxidation state. Because the rule will not applicable here, the rule previously we seen in some example where only neutral ligands attached to the complex. In that case the charge present on the complex will be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom. So that rule will not be applicable in those complexes which have a negative ligands. So here we can see that although the complex has a -2 charge, but this -2 charge will not be considered as oxidation state of central metal atom. So we have to do the calculation for finding out the oxidation state of central metal atom. So you can see that here for nickel we will assume that the oxidation state as a X. For nickel we will consider as X. Now for cyanide, we can see the cyanide has -1 charge. Always cyanide carries a -1 charge. In terms of ligand, that cyanide is called as a cyano. So here we can see that total cyanide ligands are 4. So -1 into 4 cyano ligands, so that will be -4. So X -4 is equal to -2. Initially write down the equal sign, and whatever the charge present on the complex, write down that charge to the RHS of equal sign. So we have written here the -2 which is present the charge on the complex to the RHS of equal sign. So X -2 plus 4, after shifting this -4 to the RHS, it will become a positive quantity. So X is equal to -2 plus 4. So X is equal to +2. So we assume the oxidation state or X for metal, and here metal is a nickel. So nickel has a +2 oxidation state in this complex. For your information, nickel has only 2 stable oxidation state. One is a 0 and another is a +2. Everywhere in most of the complexes you will find that the nickel is present in +2 oxidation state. Similarly, zinc also present in most of the complexes, almost 99% of the complexes zinc is present in the +2 oxidation state. So keep this point as a hint. In most of the complexes nickel is present in the +2 oxidation state. So after calculating the oxidation state, we will further proceed to give the IUPAC name for this complex. So here the cyanide ligand is termed as a cyano in terms of ligand. So there are 4 cyano ligands. So hence for 4 we give the term tetra. So simple naming for this complex is tetracyanonickelate. So keep in mind that here the net negative charge is present on the complex as a -2. So hence here for naming we have written the name of the metal as ATE. So that is the important point. So here we end the name with 8e as a suffix. So every time keep in mind that whenever there is a net negative charge on the complex, end that metal with 8e. Here there is a no space, so only by writing the oxidation state of central metal atom, the naming of the complex will be finished. So tetracyanonickelate second, this is the complete name for this complex. In the next case, we can see that the 9 number example K3APCN6. So one important point I would like to highlight in this example, most of the students make the mistake while solving this type of example. Here we can see that there is a counter ion is present in this complex. That counter ion is K3APCN, that potassium is a counter ion in this complex which is present to the LHS of coordination sphere. Now that K3 is present to balance the primary valency of this complex, or a net to balance the charge. So particularly we can see that when this complex is suppose dissolved in a particular solvent, so it can be assumed that this potassium will leave this complex, or simply this potassium will be detached from this complex, and these 3 potassium ions will be detached from this complex, which is shown here. These 3 potassium ions shown here that can be detached from this complex. So particularly so here you can see that the counter ions can be detached from the complex when this complex will be dissolved in a particular solvents. So this complex will become anionic when this counter ions, positive counter ions, will be detached from this complex. So here we can see the potassium is detached from this complex. So complex has a net negative charge. So let's find out the oxidation state in this complex. So what is oxidation state? For Fe, assume X. Now there are 3 counter ions potassium. So potassium has +1 charge. So +1 into 3 plus X plus -1 into 6. So that -1 charge for cyano. In total 6 cyano ligands attached to this complex. As there is no charge present on the complex, write down equal sign 0. So no charge, hence 0. So -1 into 3, that is 3 plus X plus -6. So there is a net -1 charge on the cyano. Overall total 6 cyano ligands. So there will be -6 is equal to 0. So X is equal to 6 minus 3. After shifting this negative -6 to RHS, it will become a positive quantity, and +3 will become a negative quantity. So X is equal to +3. So hence we have calculated the oxidation state for Fe as +3. So there are total 6 cyano ligands. First, in this case, there is a counter ion present in the complex. So hence in the beginning write down the name of counter ion only once, no need to write thrice, that is a tripotassium. So only write potassium, give the space, hexacyanoferrate, write down the oxidation state +3. Now here most of the student will be get confused that why we have end this metal as ATE. So here we have demonstrated that when the counter ion will be detached from this complex, there will be a negative charge on the complex, that is 3 minus. So as there is a net negative charge on the complex, so metal name will end with the suffix ate. So in those complexes where there is a counter ion present to the LHS, so firstly write down that counter ion. So in this example 9 number, potassium ions are present, counter ions outside of the coordination sphere. So write down the name of that potassium, then space. So 6 times cyano ligands are present, so hexa cyano. In continuation write down the name of metal, ferrate, because of negative charge on the complex, and then in Roman letter oxidation state of metal, that is +3. So that will be the complete name for this complex, potassium space hexacyanoferrate +3. In the next example, that is example 10, we can see that the similar complex is there, only counter ion is absent, and there is a net negative charge on the complex as a -4 or 4 minus. So we can do some arithmetic calculation to calculate the oxidation state of metal atom. So here Fe is present, Fe will be considered as a X. We have to find out the oxidation state of ion, that is Fe. So I assume for that X plus, there is a 1 negative charge on the cyano, -1 into 6. So write down the charge which is present on the complex to the RHS, -4. So X minus 6 is equal to -4. So X is equal to -4 plus 6. After shifting this minus 6 to the RHS, it will become a positive quantity. So X is equal to -4 plus 6. So X is equal to +2. So in this case, oxidation state of central metal atom is +2. So as oxidation state of ion in this complex is +2, so total cyano ligands are 6. So hence the term will be used as a hexa, and the IUPAC name will become hexacyanoferrate 2. So as there is a net negative charge, metal will end with the suffix ate, hexacyanoferrate 2, because of negative charge present on the complex. So we will cover some another example in the next video, along with the counter ions as well as for neutral ligands. We will solve more number of examples in the next video. Thank you very much.